Hi everyone, it's Brittany here, and I had a request. I had done a video on these little notebooks that I made. So I will quickly show you guys kind of some of the different stuff I did with these in case you didn't see that video but you're watching this one. And then I'll show you guys how I made these. So this one was one of my first ones, and it's not very perfect, and I didn't really want to mess with the time of binding it. So I just slapped a rubber band through the middle. And I mean, if you're going to put this in something else, that'll work. If you have one of the staplers that you can reach the middle of the page, that would probably be the easiest, but mine don't. So for these ones here, I just stitched them with some of this embroidery floss, and that's what I'm going to be showing you guys. It's not real hard or anything like that, so I'll just show you guys that quickly. This one is also, this one I punched the corners. There's lots of stuff you could do. This is another one that I did that I just stitched, but I stitched a lot more times. And then this is another one that I did the rubber band on. I have these tiny little ones that I actually got for my hair, but they fit on here, and so what I did was I just covered it with some washi tape, and I mean, you would hardly even see this thing. Once you come to that page, you know, you would see it a little bit, but for me, it's not a big deal, but I'd like to stitch them, so that's what I'm going to do. But that's another option if you don't want to do that. And then the only other thing is that you guys can choose like what paper you want. So for this one, I used some graph paper. Something thinner is better for this, like printer paper, or you could use, I have like some pink printer paper that I was going to use, but I haven't yet. Kind of anything real thin like that. So first you're going to cut your papers and find one for your cover. So this is my cover, and then these are also my pages. So I just cut them all to 6 3/4 by 5 1/4. You want them to be the same size, unless you want to do something different. But for this, I wanted mine to be the same size. And then you can either take one of your papers here, or you can just take a scrap piece of paper. I took a scrap. This was one of the covers from one of the collection packs. And you're going to fold it in half once, and then you're going to fold it in half again. And this will be your guide for punching holes. So go ahead and set that aside. Once you do that, actually I guess I could tell you real quick. Once you do that, you can take your ruler and line it up. For me, this made it easier because I have the Tim Holtz ruler, which I can center on here, on that fold. And then I just marked at every 1 inch out from that center line. You could do more, you could do less if you wanted to, but that's what I did. So once you have your paper cut, just like this, and you have your book cover, you are going to need something to pierce your papers with. And I have this Tim Holtz paper piercer. And then you're also going to want some little type of mat or pad. I just use this, and I've been actually using this for a really long time. Some brads came on it, but it's a really thick like piece of foam. Because I didn't want to buy like a separate pad. So I'm just going to do this, and then I'm going to just attach these little binder clips here, and this will just keep it from falling. I usually would put one on this side, but because I'm going to be marking these, I'm not going to put one there because I don't mess it up right now. So once you have these good and lined up, you're going to want to transfer your lines from here to here. So you don't need anything real big, you just need some little dots. And for me, I like to punch from the inside out, because it'll catch my thread will cover the little poke hole thing that it'll show. Actually, maybe I usually do the outside, but that's okay. We're going to do this way. And then you're just going to go ahead and punch all of your holes. And I like to go down a little bit further where the needle is thicker, just because it'll make it much easier when sewing. And I've been having some issues with my hand. I don't know if I'm getting carpal tunnel, but it's not very fun. So once you do that, you can see here the holes that you punched. Like I mentioned, it's kind of preference. You can see these, but once we get the string in here, you won't really be able to see it. But if you did it to the inside, you wouldn't see it at all. So that's up to you. And then you're just going to take a piece of your floss here. I don't unravel it. I know you could, but I don't mind it looking a little bit thick. And I have no scissors. Okay, sorry guys, just one second. I've been doing too much stuff not in my room, so I have everything gone. Okay, so you're just going to cut off a good length of that, and then for me, for my needle, I got this, this has the little roller thing to do some stitching, and it came with this needle, and that's the one that I use, just because it's got a really good eye on it. You can see there. So I'm going to go ahead and thread this, because if I try to do it far away, I might not be able to get it. It's a little bit tricky, but you can do it. So, once I get it threaded, since I have a fairly long piece of thread, I'm just going to go ahead and leave that not in a knot or anything like that, and I'm going to pull this edge up so it doesn't get lost in there. If this makes sense. I hope it does, guys. So I'm going to go into the middle hole from the inside, and you're going to want to leave a tail here. Sorry. And then I'm going to go to this next hole, and then I'm going to go down through this one. So you can see we have every other one right now. And now to complete this, we're going to go back in this one. And then back to our middle one. Oh my goodness. There. Okay. So now we have that side done, and we're just going to kind of flip it around here. I kind of like to hold the thread just so it doesn't get loose. And then we're going to go up into this one, and into this one here, and just work our way back into this one. And then once you get to the center one, you're going to go in the center, and this is where having that bigger hole kind of makes a big difference, because there's 3 pieces of thread in there right now. And then I'm just going to take this and I'm going to wrap it around. Hopefully you guys can see. So I'm going to wrap it under this, and I'm going to push this back through, so making a knot right there. And then I'm going to go back through that center, oops, and just pull it through. And you should be able to get that knot to go through or mostly through. This one I might not be able to because it's a little bit thick here. Let's see. Okay. Well, I can't get it all the way through, but that's okay. So now with these two, I'm just going to make a knot here. It'd be really nice if I had some scissors in here. Okay. So for now, I'm going to leave these ends along so I can trim them later. But there is our little binding. And it's not too bad. Probably should punch from the other way. I just wasn't thinking. And then once you have this, you're just going to take off your little clips that you have, and you're going to give it a nice fold. And this is where you're going to say that it doesn't look right. Because the pages will look like this. And I don't know why. I must fold it like wonky and not completely right. But every one of my books was like this, where one side had more white than the other one. So I turn it so that the side that has more white is towards me. And then I bring in my little rotary mat. This is really kind of dirty because I use it for like cutting magazines and stuff. And that ink rubs off. So anyways, so then you're going to line it up with some grid or something that you have. And you're going to take a ruler, and I would just trim this here. This will make it 3 inches, which is a little bit smaller than I was hoping for, but that's okay. So if you guys find that you're trimming a lot off, I mean, we could go 3 1/4, but that's just kind of pushing it. So if you guys find that you're cutting a lot off, I would just go ahead and measure your pages a little bit bigger. That way you have a little more wiggle room. So once you have that, you're going to want to hold this down really firmly, and hopefully I can do this. Like I said, my hand has been not so fun lately. So you're just going to cut along there, and this will give you your straight lines. So there's that. And then really fast, I will show you guys, if you want to round the corners, do not round them all. Like, I know that they probably won't even all fit in here. Looks like they would. Do not do that, though, because our pages sit different when they're open and when they're closed. So what's best is to take about 2 or 3 pages at a time and punch a couple pages at a time. And then they will line up beautifully because they know where they're going. We've already trimmed them to match each other. So now we're going to trim the corners to match each other as well. So I won't do all of those on screen, but as you can see in this one here that I rounded somewhere. So in this one, they line up perfect. Because I did them all separate. If you do them all at once, they might not end up so perfectly. So I hope that this helped you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.